Hello there, Christian Hueso here with some life advice for you. Uh, on today's video, I'm gonna tackle on suffering. What is it, how it works, and how to get out of there. All right. So we suffer because we listen what the ego wants to do, and not what the self, the spirit, wants to do. Okay. So why do we do this? I mean, why do we listen to ego? I mean, are we crazy or what? What's going on here? So this is so key because I mean, it is the answer for you to step up, step away from this. So we need to get back in time. We need to go back where and when the ego was born. Okay. So the legend of Adam and Eve, and when we ate from the tree of knowledge, the prohibited tree, when we ate the apple that represents knowledge, that's when we step away from paradise. Now, this is not a field. The paradise we're talking of is the psychological paradise, okay? So when we began to use knowledge, when we began to judge and label things, we step away from a world where everything is perfect the way it is. Okay? So knowledge told us this is good, this is bad. You are naked, you need clothing. So that is how ego is tricking you. You do judge. And when you judge, guess what? The butcher, the punisher is born, because at some point you're gonna be stupid, ugly, not perfect, right? So the punisher is born, and you punish yourself, you punish others, the universe. Suffering begins because the chaos is alive. Okay? How ego does this? Ego is jumping from positive, negative, or vice versa. And the worst, it is away from neutrality. Let me explain. The law of creation, triamartican law, Trinity's law, the law of the three. The law says, every time, at any point of the universe, when the three forces meet, there is a creation. These three forces are the positive, the negative, and the neutral. Okay? Per se, for our own creation, humans. The male carries the positive charge. The woman carries the negative. Spirit is the neutral. Spirit, neutrality, consolidates these charges, positive and negative, woman and male, and there is a creation. A new baby is born. Now this baby grows, repeats the process, and it continues. Another one is born, and it goes on and on. This happens infinitely. All right. So this is how the universe expands. Okay. You do this mathematically. You divide 1 into 3, 1 being the creation and 3 the forces. The result is 0.333 infinite. Okay. So this is not just a law, this is the law. Okay. I mean, how this affects your life, how the lies happening in your head. Oh, it is happening in your head and you're not aware of it. You must be aware of this. This is so key. I mean, the Christ, the Indostals in India, they taught it long time ago. The Indostals called Atman for the positive, Vishnu for the negative, and the all Almighty Shiva for the neutral. The Christ in Christianity, the Father is the positive, the Son is the negative, and the Holy Spirit is the neutral. So this is huge. I mean, we couldn't understand it because there was a lot of darkness around, right? But it is so key for you to understand neutrality, because back to the ego. The ego is playing the game, right? Good and bad, positive and negative. But what is the worst thing that ego does is ego hates and repudiates neutrality, spirit, peace, you, because you are that spark, you are that spirit, you are the peace, you are neutrality. Why ego does this? Because ego does not understand neutrality, and whatever ego doesn't understand, it is hated and repudiated. Okay, so you live in this predicament. You run away from you, spirit, neutrality. I mean, you hate yourself, spirit, neutrality, ego. And ego is running away from negative stuff because it's bad. So you cannot be sad because you believe it's bad. And other negative emotions. So you don't allow that to happen. And it's always rushing for whatever ego thinks is positive. So you end up suffering, you end up not knowing what to do, and you're just in chaos. So how to get out of the suffering? Okay, for that suffering, you need to work on suffering antithesis. Suffering antithesis is gratitude. Feel grateful. When you feel grateful, suffering is in the other side, is the polarity of it, is the extreme. And when you're suffering, there's no way you can be grateful, right? So flip it. Feel grateful about it, the life. You are alive, and that is a gift. Be grateful about it. Work with this. It's a muscle that you must build up. Do this every morning when you wake up. Feel grateful because you're alive. Your body, the air you breathe in, the movement, it is a gift. Okay? So that's the antithesis. When you're grateful, ain't no more suffering. So do that. And another little advice for you. For the negative, treat it as is. Do not label it. Leave it. Be grateful for that negative event in your life, whatever it is. It doesn't matter how negative it is. It doesn't matter. Even death is an illusion. Okay? When you're there, just leave it as is. Be grateful for it and learn from it. It is there for you to teach you to become wiser. For the positive, do not rush into it. Just be positive with the actions that come from your spirit, from that reality. Those actions are really spontaneous, really authentic. They're real. When you're in the ego, you're always labeling things, and those actions that aim for positive, they're not real. They don't even exist because they lack of the neutrality. Okay, so I hope this clarifies a lot of things here. And like us, share the video, and help people, because people needs to know these things. And I just will be glad to become famous. Well, that maybe not will not happen, but maybe it will. Who knows? Whatever. It doesn't matter. So, and really important, if you're suffering in relationships, if you struggle on any relationships, I mean, you are lonely, sleeping alone, and you fear people, check us out, thewildfloweropening.com. There's a program for you, and it will transform your life. I thank you, and take care. Bye bye.